It took me 11 months to finally leave Etsy behind, and when I did, my income dropped massively. So in this video, I want to share with you why I still made this decision and how it led me to quit my job, work full-time on my business, and now be able to live in a beach town. Before we dive in, if you are someone that is growing a community online and want to make consistent income with digital products, you know you need to build an audience, right? So if you want to build your community using strategic freebies, make sure you grab my free digital magazine because I share with you 7 ideas that helped me grow my email list from 0 to 9,000 subscribers. What if Etsy is just a starting point, just a launch pad, but not your final destination? Etsy was my safety net when I was working full-time in the hospital. I didn't have a lot of money to invest or time, so it was great that I was able to launch my products very quickly. I didn't have to worry about payment methods and all the tech behind. You can literally start your shop in a day without having to spend months building a website. I also did a lot of market research to understand what people wanted and what was actually valuable in the marketplace. And for that, I use and recommend Everbee because you can see the data behind what people are actually buying. You can see the data behind it, the conversion rates, you can see their images, their keywords, and so much information that helps you make more informed decisions on how to go to the next level on your digital shop. So if you'd like to try Everbee for market research, I'll leave my link in the description. My first 100 sales taught me so much because that's how I learned how to create my products, how I became more confident creating my templates. I've learned how to list products, how to create product images that attract people to click and buy, how to optimize my products for search engine optimization. In all those skills, they were extremely helpful when I was building my own website. So how do you know when it's your time to leave the marketplace and go beyond? And after that, it was just becoming clearer and clearer that my next step was not Etsy. And all these cons of Etsy, like for example, when someone buys from you on Etsy, they are not your customer. It's really hard to build a relationship with them. They just buy and go. So you need to be on this hamster wheel trying to get new customers and more customers all the time in a super competitive marketplace. You also have zero control of the algorithm changes, and they can also shut down your shop at any time without any explanation, which happened with me for a couple of days without any reason, and I tried to contact them and I never got anything back. So, and after that, I really started getting very worried about my shop because I was putting so much work in there and that could be taken away from me at any time. So that meant that I would never be able to actually leave my job, move to a different town, and all the things that I'm able to do today. You also have zero control of the algorithm changes that can directly affect your income, and not to mention the high fees that they do add up. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you take into account the discounts that you give, the ads, if you run ads, and all the other taxes and all the other fees, it really adds up and it becomes unsustainable. And because I had my shop shut down for a couple of days and I had no explanation why that happened, I tried to reach out, nothing happened. After that happened, I was really into a constant state of anxiety because I was always scared of losing my shop because I was getting pretty much like consistent income coming from it, and it felt like I could lose that at any point, and that was really stressful. So if I wanted to change that, I was the only one that was able to change it, right? Because it's my business, and that's why I decided to take full responsibility. And I also asked myself this question: will I ever be able to create freedom on this platform? And the answer was obvious, a big no. So what steps make leaving Etsy a little bit less scary? The first thing that I started to do was to start my email list, because that's a way that you can bring your current customers something that bought your product on Etsy to your email list so you can start building a relationship with them. The next thing is to pick a platform to create your community around. That can be Instagram, that can be TikTok. In my case, that was TikTok because I didn't want to use my personal Instagram account, and I started playing around, like trying to find out what was my content style, and I started with faceless videos. And because I was busy building my website, growing my email list, and also posting consistent content on TikTok, I had no time left to create new products, add new listings on Etsy, and do all those other things. And that's why my income dropped massively when I started focusing on my website. But I decided to take that as a sign and just focused on building my own business in my own website, something that I had more control over, because I didn't want to be in a platform that I had to create constantly new products to stay relevant, because my type of product, a Notion template, it's something that it takes time. It takes a lot of work to put it together, to package it up for sale. It takes a lot of work. So it's not just a printable that you can do in an hour. So I didn't want to be in this listing hamster wheel. When my income dropped for 3 months, I almost went back. How do you market yourself when there's no marketplace doing it for you? The fear of being seen almost kept me stuck, and that's why I made a video all about that if you want to go and watch that next. And that's why if you are someone that are serious about making money online and making a living with your own digital products, this is a skill that you're gonna have to learn. So you need to learn how to tell your own story, how to show up authentically, and how to show your products as a solution, because otherwise, how would they know? And learning about how to tell your story and the reason why you are starting this business, it's absolutely crucial, because just a week ago, I was doing a few calls with some students of the Passive Income Academy, and a lot of them, they said that they joined the academy because they could relate to me in some way. Some of them because they have English as their second language, or some of them because they live abroad, or because they love to learn about Notion and all those things. But they would not be able to connect with me if I wasn't out there sharing my story, and not just talking about my products, but also talking about the reason why I'm doing this and my story as well. And yes, I was able to get results in sales and grow my business faceless, but the moment that I stopped hiding and I really allowed myself to step up as a leader and really show myself as I really am, that's really when my business started to grow. That's when I started to get real momentum. What else becomes possible when you actually own your business? Having my own platform, my own website, growing my audience and my email list, not only 10x'd my income, but also gave me the safety for me to quit my job safely and responsibly, because as someone who lives abroad, I cannot just risk everything and then end up living with my nan or with my family, because my family is in the other side of the world. So I had to do this very responsibly, and I say this with absolute certainty. I would never leave my job if I only had an Etsy shop. You can price your products in a way that actually reflects the value, and you can show that value. You have more opportunities to show that. I was also able to move to a different city, to a better house, and live close to the beach without 10xing my cost of living. And all of that happened because I took full responsibility for learning how to market, learning the skills that I needed to, and stopped avoiding the work that I knew I had to do it, but I was always coming up with excuses not to do it, and that was costing me money. So here's a simple 3-step action plan to help you transition away from Etsy. The first thing that you're gonna need is to have an audience, a community, people that are interested on what you have to offer. So pick one platform, only one. You don't need to start every single platform. Pick one platform and start growing your audience there. The next thing is to pick pick only one core offer to focus on in the beginning. You want to make sure this offer is irresistible and that you feel genuinely excited about it. And lastly, think about what simple system can you set up to optimize for sales. That could be an email sequence, so someone signs up for your email list and they get an email sequence, and that can help you sell one of your products. That could be an optimized freebie that you can use. And if you are planning to create a lead magnet, I have a free digital magazine where I share with you 7 freebie ideas that you can use to attract your ideal audience and grow your email list on autopilot. And all of that is linked in the description for you. If you want to start your own website for free, go and watch this video next.